Welcome to my channel, Human, Evidently, where I provide evidence-based videos on human origins, paleoanthropology, archaeology, and evolutionary science for adults. They say the best way to learn is to teach, and as an anthropology student, I have found this to be true. My presentation videos are developed from the study material I build for my undergraduate courses and scholarly sources, and can be used to supplement your own learning in high school or college level classes. This is the Intro to Primatology series. This 10-part series introduces the field of primatology through a broad examination of primate evolution, anatomy, behavior, ecology, cognition, and conservation. It is designed to provide an undergraduate level understanding of the diversity of the primate order, the methods used to study primates, and the ways primate research informs larger questions about adaptation, social life, and human evolution. Across these lectures, viewers will gain a deeper appreciation for primates as both biological organisms and critical subjects in the study of life, behavior, and our own origins. While these notes and words are my own, they are informed by the ASM 443 Primatology course at Arizona State University. I attended this class online in spring of 2026 under Dr. Ian Gilby. The ASM 443 course curriculum and materials were developed by Drs. Ian Gilby, Kevin Langer-Graber, and Joan Silk. Intro to Primatology Lecture Series. Part 1. A brief introduction to the primate order. To begin a serious study of primatology, it helps to adopt a deceptively simple question. What exactly makes a primate a primate? At first glance, the answer may seem obvious. Humans, chimpanzees, gorillas, monkeys, lemurs, and tarsiers all strike us as belonging to a familiar cluster. Yet the primate order is much more diverse than casual experience suggests. Some primates look immediately recognizable to us. Others do not. Some are highly social and diurnal. Others solitary and nocturnal. Some live in tropical rainforests, some in dry woodlands, some in montane environments. And one species, our own, has spread across nearly the entire planet. Mammalian biology establishes the backdrop against which primate evolution unfolded. Mammals are characterized by features such as hair, mammary glands, differentiated teeth, 3 middle ear bones, and a neocortex associated with complex sensory and cognitive processing. Most mammals give birth to live young and nurse them after birth, and this basic reproductive pattern carries profound implications. It means that females invest heavily in offspring, and because offspring are costly to produce and rear, natural selection can shape distinctive reproductive strategies in both sexes. Many themes that recur throughout primatology, parental investment, mating competition, juvenile dependence, and social learning, are rooted in this broader mammalian template. Within mammalia, primates are distinguished by a constellation of anatomical, sensory, developmental, and behavioral traits. Primates are recognized by a suite of tendencies. They typically possess grasping hands and, in most species, grasping feet as well. The hallux, or big toe, is often opposable, although humans have lost that particular feature as part of our own locomotor specialization. Primates generally have flattened nails instead of claws, tactile pads on the fingers and toes, and a forelimb hindlimb organization suited to moving through complex, three-dimensional environments. Their eyes are placed relatively far forward in the head, which creates overlapping visual fields and supports stereoscopic vision. Primates rely more heavily on vision and less on smell, especially in the lineages that are active during the day. They also tend to have relatively large brains for their body size, prolonged juvenile periods, small litters, and unspecialized dentition that supports flexible feeding strategies. The earliest primates likely evolved roughly 60 to 70 million years ago, and many researchers connect their emergence to life in arboreal habitats, particularly forests rich in flowering plants and fruit-bearing trees. Moving along branches, grasping supports, judging distances accurately, and locating small, patchily distributed foods would all favor the evolution of grasping extremities, refined visual systems, and flexible locomotor repertoires. Primates vary strikingly in color vision. Some species are dichromats, some are trichromats, and some nocturnal forms are effectively monochromatic. These differences arise from variation in opsin genes, which code for proteins in retinal cone cells that respond to different wavelengths of light. Catarrhine primates, the monkeys and apes of Africa and Asia, typically possess routine trichromatic vision, which is thought to improve detection of ripe fruits, young leaves, and socially relevant visual cues. In some New World monkeys, trichromacy appears in a more complex and polymorphic form, depending on X-linked allele combinations, especially in females. Meanwhile, nocturnal lineages, such as owl monkeys and lorises, have reduced color vision. Primates generally mature slowly, reproduce slowly, and live relatively long lives for mammals of their size. Their offspring often spend extended periods dependent on parental care, especially maternal care, and this prolonged developmental window creates unusually rich opportunities for learning. A young primate acquires foraging skills, social knowledge, and behavioral competence over time. Geographically, primates are concentrated in the tropics, especially in Central and South America, Sub-Saharan Africa, Madagascar, and parts of Asia. Yet even this broad distribution conceals ecological variation. Primates inhabit lowland rainforests, montane forests, mangroves, savannas, dry forests, and, in a few cases, colder environments. Golden snub-nosed monkeys in China, for instance, endure winter conditions that would surprise anyone who assumes primates are strictly tropical animals. In modern primatology, classification is informed by morphology and by molecular evidence. DNA data have clarified relationships that were once debated on anatomical grounds, including the close relationship between humans and chimpanzees. Extant primates are often divided into two major branches, the strepsirrhini and the haplorhines. Strepsirrhines include lemurs and lorises. Many retain traits considered more ancestral within primates, such as a wet nose, stronger dependence on olfaction, and in many species, a tapetum lucidum that enhances nocturnal vision. Many also possess a tooth comb formed from the lower incisors in canines, used in grooming and in some feeding contexts. Haplorhines include tarsiers, monkeys, apes, and humans. Tarsiers are taxonomically intriguing because they are small and nocturnal, but molecular evidence places them closer to monkeys and apes than to strepsirrhines. Anthropoids, the monkeys and apes, are generally larger-brained, more visually oriented, and more social than strepsirrhines, although, again, variation within the clade is substantial. Among anthropoids, an important division separates the platyrrhines of Central and South America from the catarrhines of Africa and Asia. Platyrrhines include familiar New World monkeys such as capuchins, marmosets, and howlers. Catarrhines include Old World monkeys, apes, and humans. The two groups differ in traits such as dental formula, nasal anatomy, locomotor patterns, and in some cases, color vision systems. But the most important point is historical. They represent distinct evolutionary radiations shaped by biogeography. The arrival of primate ancestors in South America itself remains one of the classic puzzles of primate evolution. Old World monkeys include leaf-eating colobines and more omnivorous, often cheek-pouched cercopithecines. The apes range from the highly arboreal gibbons and siamangs to the large-bodied great apes, orangutans, gorillas, chimpanzees, bonobos, and humans. Some apes live in pair-based units, some in dispersed associations, some in one-male groups, and some in fission-fusion societies. Some primates are primarily folivorous, some frugivorous, some omnivorous, and a few, such as tarsiers, are highly faunivorous. The primate order is both evolutionarily successful and acutely vulnerable. A large proportion of primate species are declining, and many are threatened with extinction. Habitat destruction, forest fragmentation, hunting, mining, road construction, agricultural expansion, and disease transmission from humans are among the major drivers. Primate diversity, the product of tens of millions of years of evolution, is being compressed by human activity on a timescale of decades. Conservation is therefore not a secondary issue appended to primatology. It is now central to the field. To study primates is to ask how a single mammalian order generated such remarkable diversity, and what that diversity can tell us about adaptation, cognition, social life, and ultimately, ourselves. Thank you for spending this time with me on human, evidently. I hope you're leaving with a clearer understanding of the subject and a deeper curiosity about the story of life, evolution, and our place within it. Until next time, keep asking those good questions. If you want to support my channel, please consider subscribing here and on Patreon, where you can access my content for free or contribute a small donation to get your name at the end of my videos. I am working on a series of educational material for middle grade readers and 2 science fiction novels. Such endeavors are only made possible by contributions from viewers like you.